by large in part, what I've noticed is finally finding your lifelong partner really starts with you finding the lifelong partner within yourself, which means having the courage to uncover who you are and to give yourself that sense of lovability, worthiness, and deservingness that you might have not ever had.
But I think the message has now become a really negative and destructive one where people don't think that they're allowed to say they want love. They don't feel as though they're allowed to say that they want to be in a relationship and that they don't want to be single anymore. Hey everybody, it's Bianca.
And it's Emilia.
Welcome to another episode of Evolve Ventures, where we are helping growth minded humans evolve by breaking one limiting belief at a time. We hope you enjoyed the last episode, number 316. Do you feel abandoned? For today, 317, Motivation Monday, how to finally find your lifelong partner. I'm going to say something that I think a lot of people are very afraid to say out loud and are feel very ashamed to say out loud because of the bullshit messages that are everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Say it.
I want love.
Mm.
I want a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I want someone there next to me. I want someone to feel like my sense of home.
Mm-hmm.
I want someone to come home to. I want someone to I want someone to spend my life with. People are terrified of saying that out loud, and I'm terrified to say it out loud. I'm like shaking now and my heart is pounding out of my chest.
Mm.
And I think people being so scared to say that is one of the biggest reasons why people can't find their lifelong partner, why people struggle
100%.
to have the types of relationships that they want. And I know it's why I struggled in the past because I made a lot of really bad choices because I was too afraid to say what I was thinking and to say what I was feeling and to actually acknowledge the real type of person that I wanted and have the courage enough to wait for it, as opposed to just jumping into the relationships that I jumped into and trying to make it work.
Mm.
There's so many messages out there telling people to not say stuff like that, that you should be fine on your own and you don't need a relationship. And if you can't be on your own, then you should never be with somebody. And it's bullshit. It's absolute BS. I understand where the messages are coming from because people like me in the past did make very unintelligent decisions when it came to relationships. But I
Mm.
think the message has now become a really negative and destructive one where people don't think that they're allowed to say they want love. They don't feel as though they're allowed to say that they want to be in a relationship and that they don't want to be single anymore.
Mm.
I don't want to be single. I don't like being single. I can do it. And I think that's the major difference between Bianca now versus Bianca 5 years ago. Bianca
Mhm.
last year, hello. Um, it's not that I can't be single. It's that I don't want to be. And because I
Right.
can tolerate it and because I'm open and willing to say I really do want love. I do want that thing. I'm becoming the type of person that's going to be able to attract that. And I think that's the takeaway that I want us to dive into for these next few minutes is number one, giving yourself the permission to say it.
Mhm.
And going back to one of the previous episodes that we did, stop taking advice from, no offense, your kind of dumbass friends or social media or wherever else you're getting your information from that's telling you to feel ashamed of saying that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying that, and when you can be open and honest about that with yourself, you can then become the type of person that will attract that. I don't know it from personal experience because I haven't had it yet,
Mhm.
but I do know it happened for Emilia, it happened for Alan, it's happened for a lot of my clients because I helped them become the people that they love, and then
Mhm.
they attracted it, and I know it's on my path. I think for the first time in my life, I actually believe it. I'm certain of it because I'm certain of me for the first time in my life, and I'm not afraid to say these things anymore that I would have been afraid to say before.
Mm. B, can I ask you a question? Because I think
Please.
that I 1,000% having the experience that I have in my personal life and also in the professional life that I lead, having helped so many people in this arena too, I do know and I can endorse that admitting your biggest fear, and actually saying what it is that you want, that's like the 0 to 1 for so many people that people try to avoid, they try to skip over, they try to pretend like that it's not an important part of the journey, and it so desperately is to be honest with yourself about what it is that you want. Because if you can't be honest with yourself and you pretty much can't be certain of who you are and what you want, and thereby you're sending this unconscious narrative to yourself that you're not deserving of what it is that you want. So answer me this, and also for all of those who are clicking into this episode that they're looking for a tangible how of finally attracting and or finding their lifelong partner. What is it that people are so afraid of when it comes to saying what it is that you want out loud? Like you mentioned you were shaking. Like breathe into this episode what that's like, and what is the ultimate fear that's underneath that, if you do have that root fear, and if you're comfortable sharing, and or what you've heard from other people, because I know that that's going to be helpful.
It's the fear of not being enough. The fear is saying it out loud, right? The fear is acknowledging that you want love, you want to be in a relationship, and you don't want to be alone.
Mhm.
The messages that we all hear is that there's something wrong with you for saying that. That needing another person means that there's something wrong with you and that you're not enough on your own.
Mm. Okay.
And if you are single, especially when you're getting older, people do look down on you if you're single. They do look down on they think there's something wrong with you because you haven't
Yeah.
found someone yet or no one's wanted you yet.
Right, or you're not taking the dating world seriously, that's what I hear from clients and what
Yeah.
they've gotten. It's like, "Oh, okay, that's not true at all," but I understand, yeah.
It's a horrible feeling. Like, I didn't feel enough most of my life. For the grand maj I've been alive on this earth, thankfully, and I hope to live a very long and happy life, but I've lived for 29 years up to this point.
Mhm,
Guys, I'm not kidding when I say this, okay? I turned 29 in March. For the first 29 years, I did not feel enough. I
mhm.
only the last 3 to 4 months have actually started feeling enough for the first time.
Wow.
And I think it's why I'm finally able to acknowledge these really scary things and to
Mhm,
say these things out loud because I'm not I mean, I am, but I'm not as afraid as I was before of someone judging me for it.
mhm,
It's like if we didn't want Evolve to be everything that it was,
mhm,
why would we be doing everything that we're doing? Because we've had the courage to say out loud, we're trying to build the greatest mental health organization that has ever existed.
mhm,
Saying that out loud came and comes from a sense of security that we actually believe will do it.
mhm,
We actually have the intention to do it.
mhm.
And that comes from that sense of security that we have within ourselves that we're going to do the work to get there. saying out loud that you want love, that you're not afraid to put yourself out there and to be who you authentically are to attract it. That is the thing that's going to allow you to get it. But if you're afraid of saying out loud that you don't like being single, that you can tolerate it and that you know how to navigate it, but you don't like it,
Mhm.
to other people that might look like weakness, but to someone who's actually intelligent, they're going to see that as such a strength.
Facts.
I feel so empowered because I said that out loud. And I was shaking because it's a really uncomfortable thing to say when you haven't said it on a platform like this out loud before,
Mm.
especially given my track history. Like,
Mhm.
I talk about it so much because I am embarrassed by it and because it is a sore spot in my life. Like, I'm helping people, but I couldn't get my own love life in check. And the reason I say it like that is because I actually am finally doing the work to make sure that that never happens again.
Yeah.
And I'm building that relationship to myself where I'm not shaming myself for it. I understand it.
Mhm.
I understand why I did the things that I did. I understand that I had really bad attachment issues because I didn't feel loved as a kid. Not because I'm blaming my parents, but because it just, whatever was going on with me, I didn't feel okay within myself. I
Mm.
didn't feel lovable. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel enough. I didn't feel like anyone was going to stick around. And so I made a ton of mistakes, but I'm owning it. And now that I'm owning it and now that I'm really doing the work on it, I'm investing in coaching, I invest in programs, I work on my own mental health. I do all of these things. I'm putting myself out there. I'm going on dates. I'm doing all of this stuff because I'm not afraid to say anymore, this is something I really want. I'm an amazing partner and I know I am. And I know that, whoever I end up with, I'm going to be amazing to them. And I want someone who's going to be amazing to me.
Mhm.
And not being afraid to say that anymore, I guarantee it's going to be the thing that allows me to actually attract it into my life because of the person I'm becoming through this journey. And the only reason I know that it's going to happen is because I have examples of it to show me that it's true.
Mhm. So, in conclusion and kind of closing this episode B, I really do believe number 1, thank you for your courage. And I think that by large in part what I've noticed is finally finding your lifelong partner really starts with you finding the lifelong partner within yourself, which means having the courage to uncover who you are and to give yourself that sense of lovability, worthiness, and deservingness that you might have not ever had. So, with that being said, overcoming that fear through the realms of courage, 1000%, anyone who is looking or interested in and wants love, that's the first step for sure. So, in conclusion of that,
100%.
I'm going to encourage everyone to go down the rabbit hole of learning what your personal love languages are by jumping
Mm,
into episode number 245, Motivation Monday. What are your love languages? So that you can you can help learn what it is that you actually love about you to then work on that admittance factor of how much you do actually want to be loved for what it is that you love about yourself. What about you?
absolutely. 232, why you need relationship standards. All right, everybody. We hope you have a wonderful week and we will see you next time. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.